Very much indeed.
Lost perspective.
Henman, impressively unhurried. This isn't some bright upstart going out, giving it his best and having a fling at everything. This is a sensible, mature, calculated match that he's playing. Two points in.
Well, it can always be sickening for someone like Henman, because this could so easily have been hit as hard as that, a double fault by Edberg.
And the crowd beginning to be heard now and making themselves known. They're for the great champion departing the stage, by and large. Fine return by Edberg, and at a key moment in this tie-break, it gives him 4-2.
4-2, Edberg.
Yes, I think Henman, it's important for him really to try and find the flow here rather quickly. Keep going for his shots. He doesn't want to hold up off the ball, because that's just going to make it float and give Edberg more time.
Second double fault of the match. Oh, what a point! What a point! That was the master.
Well, I thought Edberg was undone by the lob from Henman, but in the end, just turning the tables with sheer class. The defensive lob he put up was terrific.
4 chances here, 4 points for Edberg, square the match, 1 set all. That's going to be it. 1 set all. Crowd like it.
It's about giving the best coverage.
Sunderland make their debut appearance on Ford Super Sunday.
It's about being there.
Against West Ham United's new-look multinational side.
Talent. Scores! Commitment. Julian Dix. Genius. Raduchoyo! Football. Yes. Scoring goals. Winning.
It's about Sunderland v West Ham Sunday at 3 on Sky Sports 1. Just part of a great lineup of football this weekend.
I've had the privilege.
I've had the privilege.
The privilege! Yes!
If you're
you're paying over £300 for motor insurance, it's time you had the privilege. You could save £150 or more on cover that comes with a host of benefits. Call Privilege on 0990 700 700 and see how much you could save. Isn't it time you had the privilege?
It's not easy keeping your hands clean and fresh. Every day they pick up all kinds of hidden germs, the kind some normal soaps find hard to handle. Thank goodness for Carex. While its antibacterial formula combats germs and odours, Carex gently moisturizes. Very nice. So, after every little job, make sure your hands are Carex clean.
Blue Sky is Major Hank Marshall's top secret project.
Abort the 10! It's too late.
It's a goddamn crime. But there are some secrets he can't keep quiet.
What the hell are you gonna do about your wife? She's a disgrace to the Army and she's endangering your job.
When he went public about the project, she risked everything to save him. Oscar winners Jessica Lange and Tommy Lee Jones star in Blue Sky, the TV premiere, 10 o'clock tonight on Sky Movies.
Welcome back. Live tennis to come from 4, but we're looking back on yesterday's battle between Tim Henman and Stefan Edberg. Well, Edberg won the third set 6-4. He's serving at 3-4 in the fourth.
Yes, and I think if they keep that crowd at bay, a lot of people will wish that they had been down at the Olympics organising matters down there. Well, neither of these two is particularly shy at the moment. They're only wrapping their shots.
That's 4-all, fourth set. Never a hint of Henman capsizing. Not the merest suggestion. But wonderful resilience.
Yes, with that love game, once again their evenness is highlighted because it's the fourth love game for Edberg, and of course Henman's had 4 love games. Gives you a real breather if you win it to love.
Edberg's reading this beautifully at the moment. I think he senses, perhaps it's just instinct, perhaps it's experience, an amalgamation of the two. He senses that if just here now he can take the youngster by surprise, and basically that's what he's done by chipping the return and coming in and saying, go on, pass me, I dare you. He's taken the initiative here.
Well, it's the miss for serves again. Henman not putting much bounce onto it, and Edberg just guiding it wide of him so that it's almost a tired stretch.
Did it time and time again. you can see from Edberg's reaction, that most understated of men, that he sensed that that was it. I think it might have been it too. And the crowd sense that they can carry their man through on a surf wave of support.
Well, he's going to have to serve well, there's no doubt about that, Edberg, because Henman, like Edberg did in that rally, with his pumping actions as a result of breaking, Henman's going to come at him. We've seen it, and we've seen too that Edberg will take advantage, particularly now if Henman misses those first serves. 4 missed first serves in the game. It really hasn't been a good game serving-wise from Henman. His percentage still under 50%, 39% in this set. And against a man who likes to pounce on the return as much as Edberg, that's a real mistake. Given too that early on in the match, Edberg wasn't his usual self in that department. He's improved as he senses the match is within his grasp.
Since it's at the end, or just about. The priority for Henman, who's such a mature match player, is that he must make every possible service return that he can. That above all.
You get the feeling, although he must hit it slightly, Henman, that he's not dwelling on it. He's looking ahead to the next point.
Three match points for a place in the quarter-final. Well, there you are. You can see how much that meant to him. Edberg goes through to the quarterfinals. He'll play Ivanisevic there. The last chapter of his Grand Slam story is not yet written. The crowd are giving him the most wonderfully warm applause, and he hoists the ball into the sky. No dishonour, no disgrace for Henman. He did wonderfully well to take this man to over 3 hours and lose to him in 4 sets, having won the first set.
Yes, it was, I thought, a terrific match to watch. It wasn't sustained all the way through, although, of course, there was such a lot of British interest. I think Henman's opportunity went in the first game of the second set when he had those 5 break points on the Edberg serve. Had he done that, who knows what might have happened. But we know that Henman served poorly, and he really a very good serve, so that it's not a common weakness of Henman's. It's something that he can really improve on.
So Henman was a quarter-finalist at Wimbledon. In the 4th round of the US Open, it took Edberg to beat him.
Well, it was a match that went late on into the night here in Britain last night on Flushing Meadows Stadium Court. It was Stefan Edberg, who's playing his final Grand Slam, who went through to the quarter-finals where he faces Goran Ivanisevic. Tim Henman, sadly, will be on his way home from Flushing Meadow, but he can take heart. And despite the fact that that match did go late into the night, it's made some of the London editions of the papers. Henman wilts before Edberg's hot blasts and Henman blow. But the good thing is that, Jeremy Bates, it says here in the Daily Mail article, Tim Henman hates being the gallant British loser, but he's not, is he? He's not a gallant loser. He played well, and we've been impressed by him. Well,
I mean, if you call him a loser, the amount of matches he's won, you know, over the last year, I mean, it's not appropriate, but it's you know, the headlines and papers, what have you.
Were you impressed by what you saw from him there?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I thought when he started off in the beginning of the match, he seemed a little bit more agitated than he had been in his other matches. Maybe not agitated, maybe nervous, you know, probably because of his familiarity with Stefan, the fact that they practiced together quite a lot, and, you know, those sort of factors, but just a slight difference in character that wasn't there in his other matches.
And obviously that injury, I mean, we said it's a precaution, and it looked like a precaution to start off with, but he was heavily strapped at the end of that match.
To me, he seemed to be very hindered by it, you know, towards the end. I mean, he was limping, you know, the penultimate point we saw, he actually really pulled up very quickly. I mean, maybe the match was pretty much over anyway. And with such a low percentage of serves that he had in, you know, in the last set, the region that he had the injury is, you know, where you extend on serving. And if he hasn't got full extension, you can understand. I mean, you know, I'm not making an excuse, but it's a possibility. And I think he might have been masking an injury worse than he's letting on. Well,
I know Tim Henman did not make any excuses after that match. Let's hear what he had to say at the press conference.
You know, I think the first set was a good set to come out on top of. I think he had the majority of the chances. But as you say, in the second set, I think in the first game, I had break points and I couldn't take them. And, you know, maybe if I could have taken one of those, the momentum would have really swung my way. You know, I still think I can reflect on a very good tournament. It's another positive stuff. And, you know, maybe if I could have taken one of those, the momentum would have really swung my way. You know, I still think I can reflect on a very good tournament. It's another positive step in my career. Stefan's obviously at the end of his, and hopefully I'm at the beginning of mine. It's you know, a pretty good match, and I'm sure it's something that I'll go away and hopefully learned a great deal from. Playing on the stadium court against such a great player is, you know, it's a good experience.
Well, it was good experience, wasn't it? And what a tremendous match it was. A shame that Tim lost it, Jeremy, but he can gain a lot from that match, can't he? And what he's achieved over the summer.
He's had a phenomenal time. I mean, I think he really wanted to be remembered as the person who ended Stefan Edberg's, you know, Grand Slam career. But it was a very good match. It's good for him. And he talked about the break points he's missed. I mean, he did miss them. I mean, that was the turning point, the start of the second set. But I don't think it's a trait that he usually misses them under pressure on big occasions. You know, because if he had, he wouldn't have beaten Martin in the round before. He wouldn't have beaten Kafelnikov at Wimbledon. And, you know, he's had a very, very good time. I think he probably just needs a bit of a rest now.
Well, he's moved right up in the world rankings and could well be in the top 30 after this tournament. How far do you think he can go?
He has lots of ability. There's nothing really holding him back. I mean, it's all down to him. I mean, he's a hard worker, and when you get up to that sort of level, and, you know, with the professionalism out there, a lot of it comes down to how badly you want it and what you're prepared to sacrifice, you know, to achieve that. But there's nothing technically or mentally that's going to hold Tim back.
OK, Jeremy, thanks for the moment. Well, many people in the game are tipping Tim Henman for great things. They're also tipping Mark.
Second double fault of the match. And it's finally turned by Edberg, and at a key moment in this tiebreak, it gives him 4-2.
4-2, Edberg.
Yes, I think Henman, it's important for him really to try and find the flow here rather quickly. Keep going for his shots. He doesn't want to hold up off the ball because that's just going to make it float and give Edberg more time.
And the crowd beginning to be heard now and making themselves known. They're for the great champion departing the stage, by and large.
Very much indeed.
Lost perspective.
Henman impressively unhurried. This isn't some bright upstart going out, giving it his best and having a fling at everything. This is a sensible, mature, calculated match that he's playing. Points in.
Well, it can always be sickening for someone like Henman because this could so easily have been hit as hard as that, a double fault by Edberg.